Last week, I released a video telling you that right now might not be the best time to purchase if you're a buyer in this market. I advised you, if you watch the video, to wait 1, maybe even 2 months to see what happens to interest rates, see what happens to home prices, and see what happens to the seasonality that we're experiencing here in Utah. Now, since I made that video, things have already changed quite a bit. And right now, the market is as volatile as ever. We're seeing a lot of changes in the market. And I want to talk about some very interesting news here that is going to pertain to you, whether you're a buyer in this market or a seller. So make sure to watch this video all the way till the end. What's going on, you guys? My name's Cody Steck, your favorite Utah realtor. I make videos about what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play here along the Wasatch Front here in Utah. And my team and I service the entire state as real estate agents. We'd love to help you buy, sell, or invest in real estate. If you're looking at doing that here in the state, please reach out to me. My information will be here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. So with that being said, I want to talk about a few different things here today. We're going to talk about how the housing market in Utah is one of the most expensive, yet homes continue to sell at record pace here in the state. We're also going to take a look at interest rates a little bit further because, like I said, when I made that last video, I had really good reception from that video. I basically told people, look, the market's going crazy. Home prices are not coming down. Interest rates have gone from 6 to 7 to 8% very quickly. And we're starting to see some massive changes in the market. And right now, things are just incredibly unaffordable. So I told people, hey, if you're in the market right now, unless you're already under contract on a home or you're actively looking because you have to be in a home because, you know, your kids are starting school or you just moved to the area and you have to find something, I would actually recommend waiting a month or two just to kind of see what happens to the market. I would say if you have the leisure to wait even just a couple of weeks, I think that could work in your advantage. Now, I don't expect prices to change very quickly in just a few weeks, but I do think interest rates could change pretty rapidly during that time. We're going to take a look at interest rates and what they've done over the past week since that last video here in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to jump in my screen here and tell you, or show you rather, this article that just came out saying Utah housing market is among the most expensive in the United States, and here's how it ranks. This article starts off, Utah is among the most expensive states in the nation to own a home, especially because of its skyrocketing housing prices in the past several years. And this should actually say to purchase a home, not necessarily to own a home. It's actually very affordable to own a home here. Taxes are very low. Insurance is very low. We don't have crazy hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have any of the, we don't have wildfire risk. Well, a little bit, I guess you do, but not like you do in California or other parts of the country. So insurance is very affordable. Taxes are very affordable. The housing prices are what's going to get you, right? This is according to a new report by the real estate website Agent Advice, which analyzed the typical price of homes throughout the country from 2021 to March of 2023, years that will go down in history for the erratic impacts on the housing market. Utah was named the 6th most expensive state to buy a home, with a typical home price of $506,000 as of this past March, according to this data. Let's scroll down a little bit here and take a look at this. Local data from the Salt Lake Board of Realtors show Utah prices bottomed out this winter, but since have been on an upward trajectory. In Salt Lake County, the median price of single-family homes was $600,000 in June, which is up 12% from January when single-family homes home prices bottomed at $535,000. This is for a number of reasons. One, it's the seasonality, people jumping into the market. Two, it also had a little bit to do with interest rates. And number three, primarily, that's just when most of the buyers jumped into the market looking to purchase. Ahead of Utah, Hawaii, California, Washington, Massachusetts, and Colorado rounded out the top 5 most expensive states in which to own a home. So number one right here, Hawaii, with a typical house price of $834,000. It's no surprise that this ranks number 1. California, again, number 2, at an average typical home price of $728,000. Washington at $562,000. I thought this was actually pretty interesting, primarily probably because of Seattle. And then Massachusetts right here at $558,000. Colorado is there at $539,000. And as we move down the list, it's actually very surprising that New York is not on this article right here. Now, obviously, that's because New York City is going to be extremely expensive, whereas the rest of New York is actually fairly affordable. But it's very interesting to see it's not on there. And you've got Colorado and then Utah here, number 6, followed up by Oregon, New Jersey, Idaho, and New Hampshire. So lots of really good information here. We're actually going to jump over here and take a look at what's happening to interest rates here in the last little bit. So if we go back here, right now we're sitting right here at the end of the chart here. As of today, it shows a number of 7.37%. If we go back here to August or September of 2022, we were sitting at a roughly 5% interest rate. So compared to today's standards, a year ago this time, interest rates were actually fairly affordable, right? Sitting at roughly 5%. And we saw this huge, massive climb up to about 7.37% in October 20th of last year. So in about 3 months' time, it climbed to this all-time high. Now we did beat that here just recently. I shouldn't say all-time high, but relative all-time high, right? So we were up here at 7.37%. We slowly declined down here to about 6% in February. This was also why the market started to kind of pick up. In January, home prices bottomed because a lot of those homes that were selling in January were actually listed in October, November, December, and that's why the home prices were going down, is because rates were up here. So if we take a look at this and compare to how home prices have changed at these high levels back here in October, we saw homes get listed on the market. Home prices started to fall into January. If we hit January roughly right here, rates were around 6%, and then we actually climbed back up, right? So as during this time, home prices were actually climbing as the rates were sitting in roughly the 6.5% range, and now we're sitting at here at 7.39% as of today. So what do I think will happen? Well, it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. In my personal opinion, I think interest rates will probably hover about where they are, but then actually start to come back down here into the 6% range, similar to what we saw this time last year. Now, I don't think that we're going to see rate cuts by the end of the year. I don't think that we're going to see any massive changes. However, I do think that as mortgage rates continue to kind of chill out, I think that we'll start to see a little bit more consistency. Right now, things are all across the board. It's very volatile. Even if we go back here to February of this year, we went from roughly 6% to 7% in about a month, right? So a 1% climb happened very quickly. We also saw something very similar in just the last couple of weeks. In about the last 2.5 weeks, we actually saw rates climb from about 7% to 7.39%, right? So not quite as big of a jump, but still pretty substantial. I think that's why the market's slowing down. That's why I'm advising people, hey, just wait. Home prices have now climbed throughout the seasonality of, the summer selling season. Interest rates are now high. I think we could start to see those things tumble going into the next couple months. So now might still be a good time to be shopping for a home. Just keep an eye on the market, keep an eye on what's happening out there, continue to watch these videos. But as you go out there and you do your shopping, maybe just be patient, wait a week, wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, wait a couple of weeks and see what happens in the market. For me, in my business, I'm fortunate I'm still in a position where I've got tons of people who are moving here and they have to purchase regardless, or there's sellers in the market who need to get their home on the market and they need to get it sold. And so they're continuing to do that anyway. No matter what I say, nobody really knows what's going to happen in this market. Nobody really knows where interest rates are going or where prices are going. We can all just give our best guess, and we'll have to look back and see what happens. My personal guess, we're not going to see any rate cuts before the end of the year. I think it's even going to be summer of next year before we can really even talk about that, but we'll have to wait and see. So despite all of this, guys, I wanted to actually talk to you about how homes in Utah sell the fastest. So if we take a look at this article here, where do homes sell the fastest? Utah actually ranks number 1. So despite it being one of the most expensive markets in the entire United States, despite high interest rates and high prices, homes in Utah are still selling extremely quick. Even though the U.S. housing market is amid a slowdown due to high interest rates, these days pacing over 7%, homes are still selling, and some states are selling faster than others. Utah, even though its prices have declined from their peak last spring, recently ranked as the easiest state to sell a home with the fastest average time to close in 2023. 6 of the top 10 are in the West. The West is still a very desirable place. People are still moving in from out of state, and they still want to live here. This is according to a recent analysis of Zillow data by real estate agents at Ruby Home Real Estate. So I don't know anything about Ruby Home Real Estate. They're just looking at Zillow and pulling this data out of there. But it's relative enough to at least make it onto a news article here. So I thought we should talk about it. Utah ranked number 1 for having an average of 27 days to close in 2023. Cities in Utah and Idaho have been among the areas that have seen the most dramatic year-over-year price cuts amid the national housing market correction. Sales in the Beehive State have also slowed significantly, but a years-long housing shortage has also kept prices stubbornly high, even amid these high interest rates. So what's basically happening is we're starting to see interest rates at all-time highs, or at least all-time recent highs, right? We haven't seen these high rates in the last 20 years, but now prices are also high. So it's become incredibly expensive now to own a home in the area, but because inventory levels are still so low, there's people who are buying, prices are remaining high, and homes are still selling very quickly. So this is the type of information that we're seeing here in the market today. If you like this type of information, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate here in Utah, no matter what your situation is, my goal is to watch out for you, be transparent through the process, and look out for you and your family's financial bottom line. I want to help you make the best decision for your family. And if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, I'd love to be the real estate resource of choice for you along with that journey. So please reach out to me, call, text, or email anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. My team and I service the entire state, and we'd love to help you no matter where you're looking. My information will be here on the screen. And with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.